G'day everyone, welcome back to the Weekly Bees. This is the last step in our journey to understand how to create revolutionary collaborative performance. And this is brought to you by Garry Sanderson, our Director of Performance, who has written the book, The Change Engineer. So we're going to start a revolution. So guys, what on earth does revolutionary mean in your model?
Okay. So I see a massive game-changing opportunity for organizations to apply behavioral science in how they set up to drive performance. Because in a very simple sense, often they've got great people with great capability. The environment they're in is just not conducive to them achieving what they want to achieve. In fact, it's often set up in a way that inhibits the performance that they want. You know, everything we've talked about in the previous steps in the model can be inhibited by the environment that they're in. The environment's just not set up to influence the behaviors that we need to be successful. In fact, it influences poor behaviors, negative behaviors, political behaviors, and then that's often reinforced by the behaviors of the leaders themselves. Sorry, but we often see that. So if the environment doesn't change and continue to reinforce, or if it just continues to reinforce tried and tested ways of working, why would anything change? So you're asking your people to change, and yet the environment they're in is not changing. So why would they change? So the trick is to change the environment, not the people. And in a very simple sense, there's lots of things that can contribute to a workplace environment, but in a very simple sense, it's the actual physical place, and now increasingly the virtual space that you're in, and the behavior of other people in that space, particularly the leaders. In fact, most importantly, the local leaders, not necessarily the executives who are in their remote ivory tower location. Those aren't the people influencing the people on the ground. It's the local people with sort of social presence, social influence. And if those people aren't driving the right behaviors, no edicts from the top or direction from the top will drive that. So we've got a model informed by cutting edge behavioral science that helps to create change in the environment and to diagnose the issues that are getting in the way of the performance you want and the behaviors you want that give that performance in the current environment. The model is called STEAM. I think you did a podcast about it.
I did
a few weeks ago.
Yep.
I won't go into it all just now, but it's basically how do you draw on behavioral levers to influence the behavior that you want that leads to the change you want. And because we're dealing with people and humans, and it's inherently more uncertain than engineering, where I came from, where you always have certainty. If you apply a factor of safety when you mix sand, cement, and water together, you get a certain strength of concrete. When you do something in a human system, you're not quite sure what you're going to get. So it's key that you test and learn from any interventions you make as you make changes in the environment. And that's a key part of acting as a behavioral scientist, looking at behavioral change in organizations. It's that willingness to test things, learn from them before maybe you scale them up. And so anyway, that's the short version. But I believe that, this is a missing piece for most leaders. And that's why the opportunity is there to create sort of revolutionary levels of performance.
Fantastic. It's a really good point, because we spend a lot of time on working at operations, at getting our assets working really well, but we don't spend much time on the human system. And this is all about the human system. Without that, we haven't got anything. So go get your book, everyone. Have a good read. If you've got any questions or any thoughts, or you'd like to speak to us, by all means, get in contact, and we'll look forward to seeing you again on the Weekly Bees.